This is the grinder that everyone who is interested in coffee knows, the Niche Zero. A grinder that's built a big following in the coffee world. It promises near zero retention, quiet operation, and a workflow so smooth it's become a favorite in home barista setups all over the world. But does it live up to the hype, and is it still relevant in 2025 with so many new grinders entering the market? I've been using the Niche Zero on a daily basis for a few months now, and today I'll take you through everything you need to know about it. The design, what comes in the box, grind quality, workflow, cleaning, pros and cons, and who this grinder is actually for. Let's jump right in. I'll quickly show you what's inside the box if you purchase the grinder. The Niche Zero itself comes already fully assembled and calibrated, so it's ready to use straight out of the box. As always, there is a quick start guide included, and I don't say that very often, but it is a very good instruction manual. It's really helpful, and the images inside make it really easy to understand. So, thumbs up for that. There is a solid stainless steel 58mm dosing cup included, which fits directly into most espresso portafilters. Here you can see me putting it inside my La Marzocco portafilter. It fits into it perfectly. The dosing cup was actually updated some time ago, and it's now rounded on the inside. This helps getting out all of the ground coffee even easier. What's also inside the box is this little socket driver. This is actually really useful as it is the only tool you need to open the grinder to give it a deep clean. I will show you how to use it later in this video. And the last thing is this small cleaning brush, which is perfect for cleaning the burrs or your kitchen counter after making a mess. Let's talk about the design. One of the first things you'll notice is how small and compact the Niche is. It has a narrow footprint, making it easy to fit into just about any kitchen setup, even if you're short on space. The body is made of aluminum, which gives it both durability and weight. The accents, like the oak base, are made from real wood, not synthetic lookalikes. These details give the grinder a warm, minimal aesthetic that looks great next to both modern and vintage machines. The dial on top is stepless, meaning you're not locked into predefined clicks. It turns smoothly with just the right amount of resistance, and the numbered scale helps you get back to your favorite settings with ease. The grinder feels dense and premium with no rattling parts. It feels like Niche is focusing on quality over gimmicks, and that's something I really appreciate. So, overall, the build quality is exceptional, and it feels like this grinder was built to last. The on-off switch is located on the side of the grinder. When the grinder is switched on, this light here lights up red. By the way, the grinder only works when the lid is closed. This is a safety feature, as this means you cannot reach into the running grinder. By closing the lid, you push the red button, and this is the only way the grinder works. What I find very nice is the way the power plug has been solved. It can be pulled out further as required. This is great if the grinder is directly in front of a socket, as you don't have to hide the cable in a complicated way. The Niche Zero isn't just another grinder with a nice shell. It was designed with a specific goal in mind: eliminating grind retention. That means no old grounds getting stuck inside and ending up in your next shot. So, their goal was to really get you 18 grams of coffee out if you put 18 grams of coffee beans into the grinder. Let's give it a try. For this, I take my Akaya Pearl scale and the Niche dosing cup. First, I weigh 18 grams of coffee beans. Perfect. Now, I put the coffee beans in the grinder and switch it on. I also turn on the video sound so that you can get a feel for the volume and sound of the grinder. The grinder has a grinding speed of approximately 1 gram per second. So the grinding process for 18 grams of coffee takes approximately 18 seconds, and it's pretty quiet. I tested it, and it only reached 72 decibels while grinding. Then let's see what the scale says. Exactly 18 grams. It varies between 17.9 and 18 grams, but I can tell you that I have tried it many times, and about 8 out of 10 times it is exactly right, and the other 2 times you are off by a maximum of 0.1 gram. Using the Niche Zero is really easy. I will quickly show you my typical espresso workflow with it. First, I weigh my coffee beans. Then, I just drop my beans into the grinder. Flip the switch to turn it on, and it starts grinding immediately. It's quiet and fast. At the heart of the Niche Zero are its 63mm conical burrs, manufactured by Mazzer, a respected name in commercial coffee gear. Conical burrs tend to produce a grind with more body and sweetness, which makes them especially good for espresso and darker roasts, but they're also more forgiving, which is helpful if you're still learning how to dial in. After grinding is finished, I just put the portafilter on top of the dosing cup and flip it around. Then I put on a dosing ring and use my WDT tool. I give it a good tamp and put a paper filter on top of my puck and lock the portafilter in. Time to pull the shot. Look at this awesome extraction. The espresso looks pretty good. Now I just have to try it. Oh yes, that's just how I like it. Chocolatey, sweet, and high in body. Maintenance is where the Niche Zero continues to shine. It's one of the easiest grinders to clean, which makes it even more appealing for single dosing setups. When it's time to clean, just use the included socket driver and remove the screw. After removing the screw, you have to take out the anti-popcorning disc, and then you can twist the grinder open and the top burr lifts out by hand. You'll have full access to the burr chamber in less than 30 seconds. I usually use the included brush to clear out any coffee that's stuck inside, and occasionally I'll run a vacuum through it. I also use the brush on the top burr. This ease of maintenance means your grinder stays in better shape, your shots stay more consistent, and your coffee always tastes fresh. Cleaning takes 5 minutes, so do yourself the favor and just clean it every 3 months. Alright, so let's quickly go over some pros and cons after using the Niche Zero for a good amount of time. First, the pros. I'm very happy with the build quality and the design. It's made of solid metal, it's got real wood accents, and it just looks incredible on the counter, without taking up a lot of space. The workflow is super clean and simple. You weigh your beans, grind directly into the cup, and you're basically ready to go. No mess, and no leftover grounds everywhere. One of my favorite things is the retention, or honestly, the lack of it. You're getting fresh coffee every time without needing to purge or waste any beans. Switching between espresso and filter brew methods is really easy too. The dial adjustment is smooth, there are no complicated settings, and it's fast to jump from one grind size to another. And speaking of grinding, the grind quality is just excellent. Whether I am pulling a shot of espresso or brewing a V60, the grounds are fluffy, consistent, and produce sweet, balanced flavors. It's also one of the quietest grinders I've ever used. Seriously, if you're making coffee early in the morning and you don't want to wake up your partner or children, that's a huge plus. And lastly, cleaning and maintenance are super easy. And now, the cons. Because it uses conical burrs, you'll get a flavor profile that leans more toward body and sweetness. If you're really chasing that super bright, tea-like clarity you get from flat burrs, you might want to look at other options. One thing I've noticed is that the ground coffee is statically charged in the first few seconds immediately after grinding, and therefore it sticks to the dosing cup. This means that if you want to add the coffee directly to your portafilter after grinding, some ground coffee may remain in the dosing cup. You can avoid this by simply waiting for a short time after grinding. The problem no longer occurs after around 15 to 20 seconds, so it only occurs immediately after grinding, but that wasn't a problem for me. One thing that can be a little frustrating is the price, especially if you live outside the UK. While it's around £450 in the UK, it costs around €750 outside the UK because of the import taxes. But honestly, for what it's designed to do, the Niche Zero absolutely nails it. And for most home baristas, myself included, the pros massively outweigh the cons. So, is the Niche Zero still worth it in 2025? In my opinion, 100% yes. Whether you're just starting out or you've been deep into espresso for years, this grinder fits into almost any setup and just works. It's not just hype, it has earned its reputation. Thanks so much for watching. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions about the Niche or if you want to see it compared to other grinders like the DF64 Gen 2. If you found this video helpful, give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Until then, happy brewing.